Hello there everybody, and welcome to this feature presentation on YouTube. I am King Mac, your hamburger pal. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to enjoy a hot fresh cheeseburger along with some delicious golden french fries, a tasty milkshake, and a nice soft drink. Also be sure to grab some hot buttery popcorn while you're at it as you enjoy this episode of TTBurger Game Reviews on YouTube.
Welcome back everybody! Christmas season is still upon us here, and I hope you're all getting into the holiday spirit, because we are back with more TTBurger Game Reviews here on YouTube, and I am your host Tony. In fact, this isn't a TTBurger Game Review episode, this is an episode of TTBurger Remastered Game Review, where I review some of the games I reviewed already, redo them again, and make it into the style the monster they are now for this channel, and that's what we call a TTBurger Remastered Game Review. And we're on episode 12 of my TTBurger Remastered Game Review, episode 12 part 1 of 4 parts. And we're getting into the holiday season here as the snow keeps going down, the magic TTBurger snow is just coming down here, and we haven't gotten much snow yet though. Some snow hit the ground here, but we'll get some snow soon for sure. Before I get started here, I want to give a shout out to everyone who has supported this channel for the last 7 years. If you guys' channel would not be as big as today, and so from the bottom of my heart, I thank you all, and let's keep making this channel bigger and bigger and bigger. And today we're going to be talking about a snowboarding series that started off as a launch title on the PlayStation 2 by EA Sports Big, which is now defunct, but EA Sports Big, and that is the SSX series. The SSX series was a launch title for the PlayStation 2, and when it came out, it was considered cutting edge, next generation snowboarding for its time. It had 2 more sequels and then a 4th game after the trilogy, a Wii exclusive, and a reboot. And before SSX, we had Cool Boarders, and Cool Boarders and SSX are like 2 different type of snowboarding games. But so we like Cool Boarders, we like SSX. I like both franchises equally for the most part. And this will be in 4 parts here. Part 1, we're going to look at the original SSX released in the year 2000. Part 2, we're going to look at SSX Tricky released in the year 2001. And then we're going to go to the year 2003 to look at SSX 3. And then finally, we're going to go to the year 2005 to look at SSX On Tour. I will not be looking at SSX Explorer or the reboot, or the 2012 reboot and stuff. You know, 1, I don't have a Wii, and 2, the reboot was terrible and stuff, so I don't really want to look at it. And before we can get started here, let's go check on our friend Tide the Snowburger to see what he's up to right now. Yo Tide, what is up dude? You ready to go snowboarding today?
Hell yeah, I am ready for anything snow related, as the snow will not stop. We could be snowed in for all we know.
Well dude, this is the perfect time for snowboarding games today. Then we have no snow right now, we hope to get some more soon.
Yeah, I have a snowboard in the back I plan on using here very soon. So we are talking about SSX. I remember that series. First we go from Cool Boarders to SSX. Now very cool for the Sony consoles. I say we should get started.
You bet, dude. We have 4 parts to get rock and roll here, so let's get started. We're going to take a look at the original SSX, aka SSX 2800, or SSX Snowboarding, a PlayStation 2 exclusive. Now defunct EA Sports Big, released on October 30th, 2000. Back when the PlayStation 2 was fresh and new, SSX, when it was first released, it was a primitive snowboarding game for the console. Back along with the PlayStation, the go-to franchise was Cool Boarders, mainly the first 2 Cool Boarders games, but the other ones after that were garbage. The first 2 Cool Boarders games were fun, but stiff controls did not age all that well. I mean, I like the games, but compared to SSX, Cool Boarders has not aged that well, but this is not a Cool Boarders or anything like that. The first SSX is a great game and a fun snowboard game to play by yourself or with your friends. I remember how it was back in the day in the year 2000. It was Christmas Eve after everybody left our house for Christmas Eve. I was 12 years old, and in our house back then we had to open a gift on Christmas Eve before we went to bed to open up the other gifts on the Christmas Day. And in this was a rectangular shaped box all wrapped up, and we opened up it was a PlayStation 2 with some games including Tekken Tag Tournament, Time Splitters, Smuggler's Run, Summoner, SSX, and more. And we were like, holy cow, PlayStation 2. and I was really amazed by the look of SSX with the graphics, the gameplay, the sound, pretty much everything else for its time. The first SSX overall is a great game, but some problems with the gameplay, controls, etc. make the game not age that well compared to the sequels. As we get started here, we have two modes, single event and world circuit. The footage you're seeing from is from the world circuit mode, which is the main mode. You pick one of 8 characters, 4 of whom need to be unlocked by earning a number of gold medals in the world circuit mode and stuff. Same way with unlocking boards now for the characters. These characters became popular throughout the 6th generation of gaming, like Mac Fraser, Moby Jones, Elise Ridge is one of my favorite characters of all time, Kiari, Nishidake, Jurgen, Angerman, Jean-Paul JP, Arsenal, Zoe Payne, and Hiro Karamatsu. For this review, I am playing as a Canadian snowboarder, Elise Ridge, who in my opinion is one of the coolest characters of all time in video game history. I remember my friends, JJBrother88, JJJagger89, and I'm the Man 89 all knew when we played this game together, they knew I would choose Elise. And everyone was like, hey, Tony, I know you're gonna choose that character. Let me think, you're gonna play as that girl and everything like that. And hell, JJJagger89 asked when SS3 came out, he said, is that Elise character you like in the game? I said, how'd you know that? And we had a laugh there. We're getting back on track here. Afterwards, we pick a mode, warm-up, race, or show off. Warm-up is basically the training mode with Mac Fraser telling you how to play the game while showing the controller which buttons to press. Race, we go through 3 heats of a stage, quarterfinal, semifinal, final. Shows where you perform tricks, get a high score, get the gold medals, like some cool-ass stuff, and more. Then we pick a course to race and start off with Snowboarding Japan, Elysium Max France, Mercury City Marathon USA, Mesa Blanca USA, Tokyo City Megaplex Japan, which is a pinball-like course, and Aloha Ice Jam Hawaii, which is a favorite amongst fans of the series, and Pipe Dream, which is the hardest level in show off, and Untracked, which is this unknown snow area only in the free ride single event. Now afterwards, we get a flyby of the course, and we see Elise talking to the audience, saying one of her catchphrases, and then we get started here. SSX delivers well in the presentation department. The graphics are really good, the rider models are detailed, and there's a lot of facial animations and muscle animation, and the way we move around and stuff looks very lifelike. The environments are big and detailed with a lot of cool graphic effects going on with the weather and the environmental hazards and more. The crowd though does not look very good. It's not like 2D sprites just jumped up and down like an old sport game. And aside from the main riders, the computer snowboarders, which are NPCs, look dull and bland. But I can understand this though because this was a launch title for the PlayStation 2, so the graphics are not going to look as good anyway. The frame rate can slow down at times when the action is getting hot with a lot of races on screen at one time. As we continue here, we have some fantastic sound here with SSX, mainly the voice acting. The voice acting is crisp and well done. Hell, even the non-English speaking characters like Kaori, Hiro speak Japanese, and JP speaks French, and Jurgen speaks German. The best acting comes from Bernadette Lacard, who's a Canadian actress who voices Elise, and she fits Elise really well. Not the perfect actress, but still fits Elise really well. Of course, there is Razel, who talks during the game about the race and critiques you if you do the stage over and over, and if you're in last place or so. He's like, "Sup, I'm Razel. Welcome to Snowboarding Japan. Need to finish turning better to get into the top. Call your mom in the room and tell her how great you are." And he's so annoying, you think we can turn him off in the options menu. The music is awesome. I love the music, like songs Jin and Sin, which is a favorite of mine, along with Shake What Your Mama Gave Ya, and Song for Dot, and all that good stuff, and everything. Each stage has its own 3 songs, but some of them are repeats, but that's okay. The gameplay in SSX is enjoyable, but compared to the sequel, the game is not aged greatest. For starters, there's a lot of fun to be had here, with races to show off and a lot of tricks to perform, and character costumes and snowboards to unlock and more. In the courses, you have shortcuts and ramps to get points to help you get to first place along with other obstacles. When you perform tricks, you get a boost, and the boost will come in handy especially for the final rounds in the world circuit mode. If you ever get stuck and keep falling over and over, you can press the select button to get you back up on track, but you'll lose some of the boost. Being the first game, if you beat the world circuit mode and unlock everything for your character, you have a head-to-head multiplayer mode, and up to 2 players can be fun, some classic fun. Being the first game in the franchise, there are problems that were going to be worked on for the sequels. The first problem is there's not much content here, only 8 courses for race and 8 courses for show-off, and only 8 characters total as well forward at the start. Due to this, they decided to make the game harder, like in World Circuit mode, you have 3 rounds in each course to race to by getting 3rd place or better to move on. And the final round can be a pain in the neck. The opponent AI gets very overpowered, and they will knock you around, shove you around all over the place, and if this happens or you hit an obstacle, it will slow you down, you are fucked. You have to mention that if you use the right analytics, you can shove your opponents around and knock them out to prevent them from taking over, but then they'll just knock you down again, so be very careful. And you think you can just reset the race if you're doing bad. Well, guess what? In World Circuit mode, there is no reset option, meaning if you lose, you have to redo all 3 rounds all over again. If you're doing bad in the quarterfinal or semifinal round, you can just quit and go to the menu, but it takes up too much time, it's a pain in the neck. The controls feel a little on the stiff side. I mean, they're simple like the D-pad and the left analytic turn you around stuff like that, the square boost and everything like that, and the right analytic makes you shove your opponents around and stuff, and the shoulder buttons and the face buttons help you with tricks and everything, and it's simple to get into, but you know, for some reason when you jump, you cannot turn it off for some reason, which is weird, and you know, like I said, SSX is still a fantastic game, but it's not aged all well, and improvements were to be made, but it's still a fantastic game and a great start to the franchise that was made to be popular. Final thoughts, if you want some next-gen snowboarding for the PlayStation 2, I recommend SSX. It's definitely a great game for sure. I give it a 9 out of 10 because of the complaints I have with it, but still, it should not be overlooked if you want some snowboarding action for sure. So, Tide, what do you think of SSX for the PlayStation 2?
Yeah, that was an amazing game. Too bad about some of the problems, though, but at least we have an amazing snowboarding game for the PlayStation 2.
Yeah, I mean, the first one is always the roughest, they say, in games, music, homework, and assignments, and more it comes to that topic.
That is very true, Tony. So what will we cover next in this remastered game review?
Well, Tide, here's a TTBurger sneak peek to show you what is next.
Well, looks like more SSX snowboarding action with a different name for a sequel.
That's right, Tide, we take a look at SSX Tricky for the PlayStation 2, Nintendo GameCube, Xbox, and Game Boy Advance up next.
Well, that is really cool. I will want to see what happens in the next episode. Until then, Tony, I must go. I am freezing. I am going to warm up with some hot cocoa. See you next time.
You too, Tide. Stay warm and enjoy the snow while you can. Looks like the snow won't be stopping anytime soon, so take care, dude. And as for everyone else, stay tuned for part 2 of episode 12 of my TTBurger Remastered game. We're going to take a look at SSX Tricky for the PlayStation 2. Take care, everybody. Peace out, and see you all in the next part.
Y'all just wanna steal this. Bottles at the club, yeah, they said you